The tri-state dries out after relentless rain from what was once Hurricane Henri, the floods, the rescues, and what's ahead.
Counting down the last few hours of the effects of Henri, what to expect by morning.
After taking a pause during the pandemic, it's back. New York Live with a look inside the market line on the Lower East Side. This is News 4 Now for August 23rd. I'm Jen Maxfield. What's left of Hurricane Henri is moving out of our area, but not without dumping inches of rain for 36 hours straight. In the city, Brooklyn received the most rain. Some parts of the borough saw 10 inches of rain. Saturday night, 4.5 inches of rain fell within 2 hours in Central Park, the rainiest hour in 150-plus years. New Jersey got hit hard as well. In this exclusive video obtained by News 4, you can see rainwater pouring under the railroad tracks in Helmetta. Governor Phil Murphy toured the damage in Helmetta, reassuring residents that the state is working hard to help them get back on their feet. The flash flooding was so intense, the borough's mayor says as many as 200 people had to be rescued from their homes and from a few cars. In Connecticut, Henri flooded streets in Manchester, forcing people out of their homes. The fire department borrowed a canoe from one neighbor on Girard Street to help a woman get out. The water filled her basement and was about a foot high on the first floor of her home. Meantime, a small brook overflowed its banks, forcing people living on the first floor out of their homes at the Millbridge Hollow condos. Longtime residents say that's never happened before. But the good news right now, the storm is on its way out.
We are almost done with Henri in terms of showers, even a few thunderstorms and the gusty winds. A little bit more to go. So let's get you through the evening, and you can see the swirl of that area of low pressure getting out of here, moving off to the north and east, and in its wake, finally getting to see the skies clear out. Just a chance of a few showers as we get into the early evening. Winds have gotten a little gusty, mainly from the south during the day, but you can see for the rest of the evening and into tonight, easing up just a bit and turning more out of the west. That doesn't do too much, though, to bring in any drier air. Will remain very muggy heading into tomorrow. Starting off at 71 for the city, 72 in Newark, mid and upper 60s from Poughkeepsie, White Plains, and Sussex, and temperatures staying in the 70s for tomorrow morning along Long Island and down the shore. Be ready for a very hot, humid, but sunny afternoon.
It is Governor Andrew Cuomo's last day in office. He steps down at midnight. Moving vans were spotted Friday at the Executive Mansion in Albany. The governor announced his resignation 2 weeks ago on the heels of sexual harassment allegations. He denies any wrongdoing. The governor addressed New York for the last time as governor Monday afternoon.
Thank you for empowering me to fight for you. Thank you for trusting me through COVID. Thank you for making New York State the progressive capital of the nation.
Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochel will be sworn in twice, including a ceremony Tuesday at the Capitol. She'll also address New Yorkers later in the day. All New York City public school teachers and other staffers will have to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Testing, not an option. About 148,000 school employees and contractors who work in schools will have to get at least a first dose by September 27th. The city has not said what the penalty will be for refusing or whether there will be exemptions. At least 63% of school employees have been vaccinated.
We are adding yet another layer of protection for our kids. No matter who it is in the school, your child's teacher, who they work closely with every day, your child's principal, who leads the whole school community, your child's school food workers, who keep everyone healthy and fed, your child's school safety agents, who keep them and the entire building safe. Everyone in our buildings will have their first dose completed in September.
School starts September 13th for the city's roughly 1 million public school students. The City Department of Education says it is working with unions on the mandate. It's been closed for 16 months due to the pandemic, but not anymore, and they've even made some new additions. New York Live with what you can expect from the newly reopened The Market Line.
After a pandemic hiatus, the Market Line food hall on the Lower East Side has finally reopened. We're headed inside today, and I hope you're hungry. Rohan, it's been an interesting year and a half or more, but the market line is finally fully reopened.
Yep.
Tell me what you've been through.
My goodness, it's been about 16 months of just helping these small businesses to survive. We had about 28 vendors when the pandemic hit. We recently reopened with about 31. So actually we reopened with more than we closed with. Right here we have Kate Chevre. They serve Puerto Rican classics with twist from his mother-in-law. And this dish here was actually my go-to lunch all summer. This is pernil pork with pigeon peas and rice and his signature potato salad.
So this is the only location?
That's correct.
And there are a couple of places that are exclusive.
Yeah, we're gonna stop by a couple of them, this place as well as Dragon Bing. Dragon Bing serves scallion pancake sandwiches. So they own a Chinese restaurant in the city as well, but they pivoted here. They were just about to open before the pandemic. They did not get to open, so they just opened with us last week.
So we should definitely come down here to support them. Obviously, it hasn't been an easy time. And what do we have here?
We have a classic curry scallion pancake and then beef bulgogi.
So now we are at Essex Pearl.
That's right.
What do they serve here?
This is a great vendor. They are both a fish market and a fish restaurant. So they have some of the best seafood in the city. They source seafood for some of the top restaurants, Per Se and Le Bernardin, but you can get it here and cook it at home yourself.
So we're gonna have some oysters?
Yep, which they shuck on site, so you can come down here and they'll fresh shuck them for you.
Wow.
Pretty incredible.
And last but not least, a Lower East Side staple.
That's right, the pickle guys from right here down on Grand Street. They've been in business about 20 years. They pickle over 60 items.
Pickled apple. I've never had a pickled apple before.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's great.
Rohan, thanks for the food tour today. And we didn't even get to try half of it, so many more reasons to come back.
That's right, I hope to see you back here and thanks for coming.
It has been another summer full of shark sightings, and while we seem to be more aware of their presence than ever, there is a special group of people that has been studying these apex predators in our backyard for many years. News 4's Lauren Scala spent a day with the New York Seascape team, and if you've been wondering what's lurking under the water, you're about to find out.
She's over 220.
The Wildlife Conservation Society and the New York Aquarium have been conducting research in our local waters for over a decade.
We've always known sand tiger sharks are here, mako sharks, blue sharks, white sharks.
We have, even in New York, just 335 species of marine fishes, 40 species of sharks, and 26 species of rays.
A team of seasoned marine biologists oversee this field research, known as the New York Seascape program.
We're trying to build a much stronger sense of why these waters are so amazing and how people can help us protect them.
The body of water located in our backyard, called the New York Bight, is a vital part of the Atlantic migratory corridor for hundreds of marine species.
The Great South Bay and the waters around New York are really important nursery grounds for sand tiger sharks, which is a vulnerable species of shark.
We know that, based on the work that we've been doing, young sharks come into the bay in May, early in the season, and spend the entire summer feeding and growing.
We've tagged a little over 65 juvenile sand tiger sharks inside the bay in the past 7 years or so.
Those acoustic tags enable them to track the shark's movements through sensors located on Coast Guard buoys.
The vast majority of those, they leave the bay in early fall, and then they'll actually return the following year. But eventually they get too big and they stop coming in.
Mike Hyatt is the New York Seascape program's veterinarian.
I'm actually performing health assessments on the different shark species out here. They are considered a sentinel species where you can use them to determine kind of the status of the health of the ocean.
Let me try to get a muscle biopsy, strong heartbeat.
We're also doing blood gas analysis just to make sure that when we're working with these sharks, they are not being too stressed out from the capture and the handling.
We are going into their habitat, and when we're out there, we have to be respectful of the fact that they're wild, that they are really just making their own living. And if people can understand and relate to these animals as wildlife, I think that that would go a long way.
Lauren Scala, News 4 New York.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.